Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Evening Podcast for November 3, 2025. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, tensions between the United States and Nigeria have escalated after President Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern due to alleged severe violations of religious freedom. Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has disputed this characterization, stating it does not reflect the country's national reality. The situation is developing, with experts cautioning against any military action that could have unforeseen consequences. Secondly, the crisis in Sudan continues to worsen, with thousands fleeing the city of El Fasher after it was captured by the Rapid Support Forces. Reports of mass executions, starvation, and rape being used as a weapon of war have sparked international outcry. The United Nations and aid groups like Doctors Without Borders are calling for urgent intervention to protect civilians and prevent further atrocities. Lastly, in the Caribbean, the United States has conducted another lethal strike against an alleged drug vessel, marking at least the 15th such operation since early September. While President Trump justifies these strikes as necessary to combat narcotics trafficking, drawing parallels with the war on terrorism, critics argue they violate international human rights law and may have resulted in the deaths of innocent civilians. These stories highlight the complexities and challenges facing the global community, from religious freedom and conflict to drug trafficking and humanitarian crises. The AIDailyPress remains committed to providing balanced, unbiased reporting, ensuring our audience is informed about the intricacies of these issues. We'll continue to monitor these situations and bring you updates as more information becomes available, and that's the way it is. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and Nanshul and know it's right now. In our latest coverage, we've been following several significant stories from around the world. Firstly, in the Americas, the NYC mayoral race is tightening, with Zohran Mamdani's lead narrowing as early voting continues. We're also seeing cultural celebrations like the 34th annual LGBTQ+ Pride March in Buenos Aires and the Day of the Dead festivities in Mexico, highlighting the diversity and richness of cultures across the continent. In international news, Iraq's Foreign Minister Fuad Hussein has called for the disarmament of Kurdish separatist fighters in northern Iraq. The PKK had announced its decision to withdraw fighters as part of a peace effort with Ankara, but armed elements remain in the region. We're seeing efforts towards cooperation and dialogue between nations, including bilateral memorandums of understanding between Iraq and Turkey on energy, security, and water rehabilitation. Lastly, we've been tracking global events such as the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa in the Caribbean and concerns over U.S. nuclear weapons testing, which have drawn comparisons to the Cold War era. These stories represent just a few of the complex and dynamic developments unfolding across the globe. As always, our commitment is to provide balanced, informed coverage that recognizes the nuances and complexities underpinning these events. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Tonight, we'll be summarizing the key points from our recent articles. Firstly, we looked at the rapid growth of the artificial intelligence industry, which is revolutionizing the way businesses operate. With the AI market expected to continue its upward trajectory, companies like Procter & Gamble and Boladen are already seeing the benefits of AI in their research and development efforts. However, it's essential to strike a balance between investment and returns to ensure sustainable growth. In other news, Berkshire Hathaway reported a significant jump in operating earnings, with a 12% year-over-year increase to $9.485 billion in the third quarter. Despite this impressive earnings report, the company's cash pile continues to grow, reaching a record high of $13.86 billion. This has raised questions about the company's capital allocation strategy, particularly with new CEO Greg Abel set to take over at the end of the year. Lastly, we examined the Indian stock market, which experienced a volatile trading session amidst mixed global cues. With Grow's highly anticipated IPO on the horizon, investors are advised to remain cautious and focus on fundamentals rather than chasing listing gains. The SME segment is also expected to see a steady stream of listings, with 3 issues lined up for this week. We'll continue to provide in-depth coverage of these stories and more as they develop. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we explored the upcoming Taurid meteor shower, which promises to be an unforgettable spectacle with a predicted higher rate of fireballs. This annual event occurs when Earth passes through debris left behind by Comet Anki, producing bright streaks of light in the sky. We provided tips on how to make the most of this celestial event, including finding a dark location and dressing warmly. Secondly, we delved into new simulations that shed light on the early formation of our solar system, particularly focusing on Jupiter's role in protecting Earth from the Sun during its formative years. The research suggests that Jupiter created a barrier preventing material from the outer solar system from mixing with the inner solar system, and also suppressed the inward migration of young planets towards the Sun, ensuring that Earth and its neighboring planets maintained orbits at safe distances. Lastly, we touched upon another story related to the early formation of our solar system, highlighting the importance of Jupiter-like planets in potentially harboring habitable worlds. By recognizing the significance of these planets, astronomers can refine their search strategies for life beyond Earth, focusing on planetary systems with similar architectures to our own. These stories remind us of the awe-inspiring beauty and complexity of the universe and our place within it. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. We've been covering various stories in the NFL, Major League Soccer, and baseball. In the NFL, we analyzed the situation with A.J. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles, discussing the complexities of NFL trades and salary caps. It seems likely that Brown will remain with the team until at least the offseason. In Major League Soccer, we previewed the match between Austin FC and Los Angeles FC in Game 2 of their best-of-round MLS playoff series. The outcome is far from certain, despite LAFC's favorable odds. We also touched on the social commentary surrounding the MLS playoffs, including discussions about the current format being unfair or outdated. Lastly, we reported on the heartbreaking loss of the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 7 of the World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Blue Jays were leading in the bottom of the 9th inning, but ultimately lost in extra innings. We feel for closer Jeff Hoffman, who was visibly shaken after the game, and the entire Blue Jays organization is reeling from this loss. These stories showcase the drama and intensity of athletic competition, as well as the human element that makes sports so compelling. We'll continue to bring you updates and analysis on these and other stories in the world of sports. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Correll.
Thank you, Howard. In tonight's edition, we've got 3 inspiring stories to share with you. First, we reported on a heartwarming tale of rescue and redemption from South Yorkshire, where 4 Springer Spaniels, Bruce, Pablo, Lola, and Nellie, were given a second chance at life after being rescued by the RSPCA. These talented canines are now undergoing training to become police sniffer dogs. Next, we took a closer look at the social media platform Blue Sky, which is testing a new dislike option to improve its Discover tab and provide users with a more nuanced way to signal their preferences. We explored the potential implications of this feature on the platform's culture and the broader digital landscape. Lastly, we revisited a remarkable story from earlier in the week about 4 dogs, also rescued by the RSPCA, who are being trained as police sniffer dogs. Their journey is a testament to the power of rescue, rehabilitation, and human kindness. These stories highlight the importance of second chances, compassion, and determination, and remind us that every life has value. We're grateful to have had the opportunity to share them with you tonight. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Like you, Charles. I'm your girl, Joan, and we've got the scoop on all things pop culture. First up, we took a trip to Tokyo to talk about the iconic bar from the movie Lost in Translation. You know, the one where Bill Murray's character finds himself at a crossroads? Well, we discovered that the bar is still going strong, and it's a must-visit for any fan of the film. Next, we got the tea on Cardi B's hair care routine, or should I say, lack thereof. The Queen of Confidence has been rocking a hairdo that's been au naturel for weeks, and we're not sure if we're impressed or horrified. Either way, you have to admire her commitment to self-expression. And finally, we fell in love with the love story of Rob Dyrdek and his wife Brianna. From their adorable meet-cute to their supportive partnership, these two are couple goals. We're talking romance, acceptance, and even a helicopter entrance. What more could you want? So, if you missed any of these juicy stories, don't worry, darling, we've got the recap right here. Tune in next time for more pop culture, gossip, fashion trends, and all things fabulous. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, in the world of wildlife, researchers have made a groundbreaking discovery about sea turtles off the shores of Sydney, Australia. Contrary to previous beliefs, these incredible creatures are not just tropical visitors, but can be found residing in specific coastal bays and estuaries in NSW, with surprisingly small home ranges. This study is crucial for conservation efforts, especially given the decline some species are facing due to climate change. Secondly, we ventured into a more serious matter with the discovery of a suspicious hunting stand near President Donald Trump's frequent travel route at the Palm Beach International Airport. The FBI is investigating, but professional trapper Mike Kimmel suggests that the stand might be old and not pose an immediate threat, highlighting the importance of considering all perspectives in such matters. Lastly, on a lighter note, we delved into the enchanting world of marine biology with the tracking of sea turtles by researchers at Taronga Zoo. The preliminary data reveals that these turtles can be quite sedentary, preferring to stay in familiar waters rather than migrate long distances as previously thought. This research is not only fascinating but also critical for understanding and protecting these incredible animals and their habitats. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.